Hello there. Today I watched the film Bring Her Back, and now I want to tell you about it. It's a horror thriller about a pair of siblings discovering a terrifying ritual at their new foster home. It was co-written by Danny Philippou and Bill Hinsman, and co-directed by Danny and Michael Philippou. It stars Billy Barrett, Sally Hawkins, Joan Wren Phillips, and Sora Wong. Bring Her Back is a slow-burn mystery that starts with the tragic death of Andy and Piper's single father. Andy, the older brother, does everything he can to keep his younger sister safe and insists that the two of them stay together when going into foster care. A woman called Laura agrees to take them, and they move into her secluded home in the countryside. They meet her other foster child, Oliver, and it becomes clear quickly that something strange is happening in the house. As Laura manipulates and abuses the children for her own twisted desires, Andy looks for a way out of the situation. The film's visual journey takes place in a single home with minor trips to secondary locations. The home is a secluded but relatively normal place in the countryside. In the first two sections, we watch Andy and Piper try to settle into their new home and deal with strange passive-aggressive behavior from Laura. She manipulates them into doing things they don't want to do. Then in the final third of the film, things kick off and we start to get the real body horror images. One of the children transforms into a terrifying creature in a truly disgusting manner. They do things like break their own teeth, consume the flesh of humans, and rip bodies limb from limb, like a zombie with monstrous strength. For music, they use tension tracks and a lot of ambient noise. Most of the film is silent because it's focusing on the interactions between the characters, and they don't feel the need to color it with any kind of flavoring. The rare occasion where they do include some music, it's mostly eerie noises and tense sounds meant purely to help increase the drama of the moment. Which brings me to my review. The story is fairly exciting. The cast does a fantastic job with the material, the visual journey is revolting in a great way, and the soundtrack does an awesome job supporting the story. Starting with the story, it's an exciting affair with lots of mystery and a ton of action in the back of the film. The mystery revolves around what the ritual is and whether or not Andy and Piper will be okay. They do a good job of keeping things murky right up until the end while still feeding you enough tidbits to whet your appetite. When they finally do get to the horror part, they throw the entire kitchen cabinet at you. It's non-stop danger and disgusting imagery for almost 30 minutes. When it finally ends, you're left blue in the face from holding your breath. The cast eats up the material too. Most of the screen time revolves around the four main characters. They're playing seemingly normal people dealing with a tragic situation. Piper and Andy are the children we see this horrific situation through and root for. Andy is an older boy with anger issues that just wants to be seen, and Piper is a younger disabled girl that just wants to explore the world. Both Barrett and Wong show off a surprising amount of chemistry for their age, and both of them do a fantastic job with their emotional scenes. Laura is the strange antagonist who seems to flip-flop back and forth between nice and nasty. Sally Hawkins does an insane job making you both hate and sympathize with her character. She deals with the emotional aspects in a heartbreaking way and shows off a creepy demeanor that could contend with the worst villains. Oliver is a strange character who doesn't say much and acts more like an animal than a human. Phillips does a good job making himself look creepy in every shot and does a phenomenal job with the body horror parts of the story. I had a really hard time with his scenes because his expression work was so manic and horrifying. Visually, the film is simple, but extremely well executed. It uses normal everyday locations and costumes, but films them in a clean and precise way. They did a great job of capturing the emotional journey as well. The transformation is truly disgusting and does exactly what you want from body horror. The practical effects are quite impressive and had me ready to vomit just trying to glance at them through my peripherals. Sound-wise, the film uses its tracks effectively. They add boatloads of tension to the story through the use of repetitive noises. Thumping sounds, scratching noises, and high-pitched whines dominate the track. They come in at the right moment, do what they're supposed to do, and then promptly leave. Which brings me to the film's negatives. The story doesn't actually answer half of the questions, and the ending feels cheap. The soundtrack is also quite bland, and the film isn't trying anything new. Starting with the story, it's a mystery that doesn't actually have answers for you. Part of what makes the film fun is trying to guess what's going on. They do a good job of giving you the highlights, but don't actually explain a few things that are integral to the story. When the credits roll and you still don't have all the answers, it feels a little unsatisfying. They also didn't earn the ending they went for. They go all in on the horror aspects, and the ritual is moments away from being completed, and then everything just completely reverses course. It's a little jarring and doesn't quite work with the rest of the film. As for the soundtrack, they didn't add any flavor to the film through it. This normally wouldn't be that big of a deal, but the film is already pretty bland. A little bit of original music that gave us some different vibes would have gone a long way to making the story feel more unique. Personally, I thought the film was good at building up tension and mystery, and it had a visually impressive climax, but the ending felt a little rushed. It just seemed like they didn't quite know how to end it, or how to answer some of the questions, so they took the easy way out. I enjoyed it, and I think if you're a horror fan, you will too. As for a rating, I'd give this film a 7 out of 10. Remember, these are just my thoughts on the film. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Bye-bye.